Now here's an update. It's a little late. We wanted to get back to this, and we were hoping that we would have an answer to this mysterious illness that one of the top porn stars is going through right now. And some of the comments people put into the lines on there, blaming what she does for a living as being the reason for this. We don't know what it is. The doctors can't. I mean, if they gave one look at it and say that it's this, and they were mistaken, we still don't know. But Jenna Jameson, this is off of page 6. Jenna Jameson confirms she's not paralyzed amid the mystery illness. She's getting back on her feet, and I'm glad to hear that. Jenna Jameson wants fans to know that she's not paralyzed after a previous revealing that she's battling a mysterious illness that's left her unable to stand on her own. The adult film star clarified that she's able to move her legs and not paralyzed in a video post in her Instagram just recently. I'm just dealing with the extreme muscle weakness, some issues with my left nerve, Jameson stated, adding that she's slowly building back her strength. I can understand that with the edema that I went through. This is well over a year, and I'm still rebuilding my legs, my back. Basically, my strength, still not there. And, I can't get around like I used to. I'm on a walker also and a cane, but sometimes I don't need to use it at certain points, but it's not like I can do a marathon right now. I'm walking around with my walker. My legs lost a lot of muscle, so I'm busy trying to build it back. She continued, this has not only been physically taxing, but I think more than just really mentally challenging. Very mentally challenging. I can understand it as well. Jameson further explained that while her diagnosis remains unclear, the issue stems from her left femoral nerve, which runs down from her hip down to above the knee and controls the surrounding muscles. Despite the physical challenges, she says she isn't giving up and will fight through, calling the situation messy and mentally challenging. I'm fighting, I'm kicking, I'm taking names, and I will soon be back up on my feet unaided, and life will be back to normal, she says, and I mean normal as can be. Jenna Jameson was hospitalized earlier this year for nearly 2 months with an unknown illness. She was misdiagnosed with guillain-barré syndrome, but doctors since have ruled that out. Earlier this was back in March, Jameson said she was bedridden and gave another update. She was using a walker to help her get around. She thanked her partner, Leora Bitton, at the time for sticking by her side and being strong for the both of them during this ongoing health struggle. He's doing well as expected. He's a really strong guy, but this is a scary situation. And as far as he's just kicking ass for me, she said he's been picking up where I've dropped off with this health situation. I'm a lucky woman. Jason and Britton share a 4-year-old daughter, Batalu. She also shares a 13-year-old twin son's Journey and Jesse with ex Tito Ortiz. I can understand what she's going through because my wife has health issues. I've gone through health issues. We've both scared each other to death. And it's hard to maintain situations when your health, when your health at points when you end up in the hospital. I've talked this story before. Recently, I've talked about my wife's aphasia situation. I had somebody in the comments line over at BitChute was saying, that it was part of COVID, that Bruce Willis got it said, you didn't see the video. We're discussing strokes. We ain't discussing what caused the stroke, but stroke causes aphasia. Aphasia, if you get aphasia off of a stroke, your mind, even though it's still there, it's just you cannot put out what you normally could. You can't speak properly. Sometimes you can't read properly. You can't communicate to the point where people will understand you. And this is a major issue. My wife has gone through this, and it's been a long recovery. She still has it. It's not going to go away. She maintains her singing to keep her focus. At least she's able to work again. This is a diagnosis from doctors that says that she's lucky of the strength she's able to put back into it, and because she would have ended in a wheelchair, in a vegetated state. This stroke it was a major stroke. This is no freaking joke. Most of these illnesses, if you know what it is, good thing we know what to cure. But when it's mysterious, my first half of my illness, I don't know if I had a partial stroke or not. I don't know. I mean, some doctors are saying it's a partial, but it wasn't really a partial. It came and went very quickly. From there it went downhill. My blood clot, the things that I just went through, the hospitalizations, the rehabilitations that I had to go through, several months in a rehab center, away from home, away from you, my viewers. I couldn't do shows in there. It was very loud and there on there, but nice people there. So we hope that Jenna gets her strength back, and we find out what this was, because we don't know what it was. And before you say COVID, we don't know. We know she didn't have a shot on there. We don't know if she had it or not. I mean, this is dealing with some unusual things. And the thing about it is, this is the problem that we're having right now. Because the way the media has been handling this whole pandemic situation, there are illnesses that are coming in that need to be identified. That has nothing to do with this, but being pushed upon, and this is where we get the misdiagnoses. This is what happens. Everything is not caused by COVID, and you have to understand that. People have died, and they said, well, it was because of COVID. No, they may have had COVID, but the COVID was not the underlying issue. If they had terminal cancer, it was the cancer that was killing them. Understand that there are other underlying factors. Yes, people have died of COVID, but that is because like I said, it's because of their age, because of basically of other conditions, but you can't really call it COVID. So, like I said, we'll hope she gets better and everything will straighten out in the end.